The Iberian Museum of the Mask and the Costume visit to the exhibition. Iberian means from Portugal and Spain. Participants in the recordings welcome to the Iberian Museum of the Mask and the Costume. Costumes are clothes worn by the masked men. Voices are from Narekit. Jose Luis de Castro and Marta Ochoa made the sound. The School of Education helped us in the recordings. History. The City Council of Bragança created the museum in 2007. It was an old building inside the Castle of Bragança. It was renovated with the help of a European program. Renovate is to make something newer. The museum is a tribute to the boys' festivities in Trás-os-Montes. A tribute is to show we admire something. The boys' festivities start at Christmas and continue until the Three Kings Day. The museum has 3 floors. 1. The ground floor shows the masks from Portugal. 2. Floor 1 shows the masks from Spain. 3. And on floor 2 there are more costumes, masks and photos of the people who made the masks. The museum has granite walls and dark wooden floors. On the 3 floors there are glass showcases. In the showcases there are the costumes and masks. Ground floor. This floor is about the festivities that begin at Christmas on the 25th of December. The feasts continue until the Three Kings Day on the 6th of January. These festivities are called the boys' festivities. Girls cannot participate.
There is a woman with lace on her face that is used as a mask. She is wearing a black scarf on her head and a colorful shawl on her back. She has a long skirt with pockets and a jacket. These are boys' festivities, but there are ladies. They are not ladies but boys in women's clothes. These masks are from Salsas, Podence, and Ausilão. These masks are used in the feasts of Saint Estevão. In these festivities the boys rattle the girls with bells. They have belts with cow bells. Cow bells are brass bells that are used in cows and oxen. There are also boys' festivities in Rebordhouse. We did a photo session with the costumes of Rebordhouse once. These costumes are different. These masked men have horns and hoods on their heads. The men are bearded and carry a stick. The costumes are reddish. They look like rags, leftover blankets. The costumes have a lot of wool and fringes. They look like a bed blanket.
There is one masked man in a blanket costume. There are sticks with oranges stuck on them. There are funnels. They use the funnels to talk and shout. There is one masked man with a tin mask and a thin shirt. It looks as if it is made of a curtain. There is also a stick to make noise and boots on his feet. There is a masked man with a black face and a blanket on his shoulder. It is a pack saddle or a blanket that is put over donkeys. He carries a cross in his hand. There is a bag for drinking water on the shoulder of one of the masked men. It is made from a pig's bladder. The masked man wears lace, necklaces and a hat with flowers. There are 2 masked men in long skirts. They are carrying green and red ranera scarves. Next to them we see the traffic policemen who find drivers on the roads. The masked man in the corner has a baby in his arms. He has a skirt with flowers and a pair of shiny gold shoes.
There is a masked man with a white scarf, a black coat, a skirt with dots and thick winter socks. The man in the grey pants has a top hat. It looks like a crown used by kings. Around his neck the man has necklaces made of thread spools. He is wearing the jacket inside out. We see the comb that is in his inside pocket. These branches were special. The masked men carry them to gather the chorizo and the alheiras. Alheiras is a special food from Trás-os-Montes. They are tripes filled with meat, bread and spices. The masked men knock on people's doors and they give them food. This man is wearing a police uniform. On his face he has a tin mask. It has a belt with 2 wallets. He used it to put money or the mobile phone. Or to put his weapons. It was to keep his money.
These costumes are different from the others. They are longer. The costume goes from the neck to the feet. They are overalls like those worn by mechanics. The devil on the left has a beard, horns with hair, his tongue out and a snake. He wears a snake around his neck but it is fake. He carries iron tongs. Tongs are a type of scissors used for working iron. The costume on the right is very cheerful. It has red pom-poms. The mask also has horns and a snake. The devil has a belt with rattles.
Floor 1. On this floor we can see the masks from Spain. These devils have something strange on their hands. It looks like soap, a sponge or a stone. These masks are very different. They are devils with hair and ram's horns. Their hands are painted black. This devil has a big mask, beard and hair. He also wears a hood made of sheepskin. He is wearing a leather jacket, farm pants and boots. He is a devil with style. The last masked man wears a costume that was made of newspaper ribbons. Making this costume was a lot of work. We can only see the boots. There is a masked man with big cow horns. We cannot see his face. This thing with fringes covers his face. It protects the man from the flies.
This masked man wears a cape. It is a cape made of straw. Next to it is a woman or a man. They have a big coat with lots of flowers and a hat covering their face. It looks like a shower curtain. The masked man in the background has goat's horns. On his head he has a goat skin. The man on the right has ribbons on his face, a black shawl and a stick that looks like a staff. There is a masked man in overalls. His pants are dirty with mud. On his head he wears a sheepskin braid. Between his legs he carries a piece of wood. It looks like a toy horse. This costume has fringes and a beard. There is a man wearing a coat who looks like the Coretos of Podence. Coreto means the person wearing a different face or mask, but they do not have cowbells. He carries a bag over his shoulder and a stick in his hand. There is another devil here. He wears a sheepskin. The last one has a costume with many flowers. He carries a spreader in his hands. A spreader is a tool for spreading hay. He has a round mask and a goat skin on his head. Let us go up to the second floor.
Floor 2. On the last floor we have 2 showcases. In one we have more costumes. In the other showcase there are masks and photographs of people. These people made these masks. This one here is me. It is the red devil from Wien Heis. And next to the devil is death. There are many deaths here. They carry a sickle as they do in Wien Heis. The sickle is used to mow the hay. To mow is to cut hay with a sickle. Next to the devil there is a masked man who is set on fire during the festivities. There is another Coreto from Podence with a costume with fringes. He has cowbells and a stick in his hand. This one looks like an executioner. The executioner cut the throats of people who behaved badly. He wears overalls with leather boots.
This masked man has cow horns with a large cowbell. Let us look at the masks. They are made of metal. Next to them we have masks made of straw. Straw was used around the jugs so they did not break. These men and ladies in the photos made these masks. On the right side the masks are all made of wood. There is a mask with our Lord and a mask with lizards. One mask has a snake cutting through its face. How awful. In the end we can rest at this table. We can think about what we saw and about our favorite costumes and masks.
Farewell, we have finished our visit. Did you like visiting the Museum of the Costume and Mask? You have to come back and see new things. List of participants. These texts were created and validated by Lucia Pereira, Marco Afonso, Miguel Cifracio, Paulo Sá. The facilitators were Claudia Martins and Kocia Broco. The texts were created with the support of 1. Academia Santos Mártires, in Bragança. 2. Ascute, Sociocultural Association of the Disabled of the Trás-os-Montes, in Bragança. 3. And Fenicercai, National Federation of Circe, the Project Culture for All Bragança, Norte 074230 FSE 000058, belongs to the municipality of Bragança. It was funded by the European Social Fund. It was developed by the Polytechnic Institute of Bragança with Claudia Martins's coordination.